time ago, prior to Game 1 of the WNBA Finals between the Phoenix Mercury and Las Vegas Aces, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert addressed critical comments made about her leadership this week by Minnesota Lynx star Napheesa Collier.
I have the utmost respect for Napheesa and for every single player in our league. They are at the center of everything we do. I was disheartened to hear that some players feel the league and me personally do not care about them or listen to them. And if the players in the W don't feel appreciated and valued by the league, then we have to do better and I have to do better.
Engelbert was then asked about some of Collier's accusations.
I have been in touch with Napheesa. We've exchanged texts. We're talking next week. Obviously, a lot of reporting, a lot of inaccuracy about what I said or what I didn't say. And I will tell you, I highly respect the players. There's a lot of emotion and passion going on right now because we're in collective bargaining, and so I'll leave it there.
Guys, I'll leave it there for you.
All right, Ilo, appreciate
Ilo.
it. Yeah, that's just beginning. It is just beginning. I've seen some big-time players, Angel Reese being one of them in the WNBA, who've already kind of like gave it like, yes, go, no, Napheesa. Like, they're with it. So it'll be interesting to see the response to this as they're gearing up for their WNBA Finals.
Get messy.
It's going to get
It's
going to
get so bad.
You know, and we can stay here. It's the odd couple, Kelvin Washington, Rob G, and for Rob P on this Funky Flashback Friday. We'll talk about something else in the football in 1 second. But just since we're here, to me, it's going to get messier. You know when somebody says respectfully, you know.
Yes, something super disrespectful is coming.
Respectfully.
Okay.
I do wonder if the WNBA brass, not the players, the brass, were ever prepared for them to actually be at this level of public eye, notoriety, scrutiny, and just attention. Because it's one thing to always like want it, but if you just play here, meaning like this is the level we're operating under, then you only have to do certain things, right? It's like people aren't watching. It's like if all of a sudden you start getting good grades, now your parents are like, wait. And now we're watching it. And now that little C+ ain't as good anymore. I see you can get good grades. I see you can be respectful, whatever it is. Point being, WNBA, we're talking about is making shows that it normally doesn't make, and people are, in a good way, conversing about it and having Twitter debates about it. And I just think over the last couple of years, I don't know if the brass was really ready on how to handle this. And they weren't ready to be a big brand that people are, trying to pay attention to and trying to learn more. Because, again, look, a lot of people are like, yo, I wasn't all in. Now I'm paying more attention. I'm talking about it more. And I think they fumbled some things because of that. Like, you fumble the Olympics not getting Caitlin in there because you understand it. You don't understand. Like, you put her in. Well, what about – they'll figure it out because I'm trying to grow the brand. Right, you don't talk to one of your best players like that. If allegedly, if that's what happened. There's a lot of little small things they're doing. The way if players are complaining about refereeing, then you talk about it. You hear what's going on. You try to. I feel like they've just been operating like this is the league. This is what it is. It'll be what it is. And it's like all of a sudden, bam! All eyes are on it, and they weren't prepared to adjust and prepare for what comes with having more eyeballs.
No, you're so right. You can't turn left. I agree with you.
I know, three rights. They're going three rights to get
you end
left.
up in a circle.
Yep.
No, and I'll add to that. I don't think the players were prepared for what was coming. Because do you understand how unusual it is to have a player like Collier, who's one of the best players in the league, to come out and not only be critical of the commissioner, but to have like point by point for 4 minutes of going off on him. Like, for all the talk about Roger Goodell and whether or not the players like him or respect him, and they don't like the way he does business, and he's always about the shield, not about the players. You'll never hear a player come out and say Roger Goodell did X, Y, Z wrong, and this is inappropriate. Because even if they feel that way, they understand this is a partnership. And if we're going to talk trash or we're going to be negative and we're going to say these wild things about the guy in charge, we're going to do it behind closed doors with our PA and your representatives, and we're going to hash it out there. And if it really gets bad, maybe we'll have a strike, but it's never going to get to be personal. And the way this is playing out right now, and has been playing out basically ever since Caitlin Clark brought all the eyeballs, is everything is under a microscope. The front offices and the brass doesn't know how to deal with it. The players still haven't really understood that now that all the eyes are on you, you can't act the way you did 4 years ago. Like, for example, this might be a really odd example. Asia Wilson played great in that elimination game. And if you saw in the post-game conference, the reporter asked, like, hey, how were you able to be as successful and as you were down the stretch? She said, well, my teammates gave me the ball where I like it. And then she makes a joke about liking balls around her. which was a clear sexual innuendo she was referring to. Can you imagine if they ask Shai Gilgeous-Alexander a question like that and he makes some sexual reference during the post game? Like, no.
I don't even know who you are right now. Alex, you're right. Alex,
we
you're
can't
right.
do that.
This guy gets highbrow when he gets on this
We
other
can't
side.
be doing that.
Do you listen to our show?
But we are
Do
not,
you know what we do every day?
Representative of a multi-billion-dollar. I mean, I guess iHeart. That's a bad example.
Look at
too.
that.
But you
now
know what I
iHeart
mean?
broke out here in
Like,
these streets. No,
there's certain
what
things
I
that come
actually
along
like
with
that.
representing the league.
I like it. It's funny. It's humorous. That ain't what I'm talking about. I get your point, your sentiment, right? You need to be professionals. No, because you know how many times NBA dudes sit up there like this? Somebody says, "Yeah, man, they was just giving it to us hard in the paint," and one of them goes,
Like Snickers. Yeah.
Pause. We've had the top players, Chris Paul, James Harden. Pause. Yo, bro. Don't do that, Rob G.
I'm telling you.
Don't get over here and get all highbrow.
Neither side knows how to act like a major professional
I'm
league.
I'm giving the brass more because the brass is supposed to be, God bless the dead, David Stern, and he didn't do everything right. Don't get it twisted because plenty of things I can point out. I didn't like this. But he had this bigger picture, global. Oh, the world want to keep sending pros to these Olympics? Go get the pros.
Right.
Go get Mike and them.
Yep.
Mike, Larry, I thought I was going to retire. No, you're not after this.
David Stern allegedly forced Magic Johnson to be the finals MVP in that first championship.
Right. Why? Because he's the future.
Yeah.
He's about to be the next.
Allegedly.
Right, and allegedly.
Yeah.
But my point is he does what needs to be. Hey, look, the Knicks need to be relevant again.
Yep.
There's this guy coming out of Georgetown
Right.
that will look great in a Knick jersey. Somebody freeze an envelope. Allegedly. My point is you do what you got to do when you got to do what you got to do. Okay. And I feel like the brass of WNBA is supposed to be like, yo, we are about to take full advantage of this experience right now. Caitlin's popping. Paige Becker's popping. Angel Reese is popping. You know what I mean? And you build it up and you grow it. And I just feel like there's a couple of missteps and they don't get in there kind of like operating at a slower pace and, well, we'll get there or I don't like her. And man, you're supposed to be thinking bigger. And you've had eyeballs on you that you haven't had really since the beginning of it. But
you don't think the players have had some kind of role in this too?
The players, but I'm going to tell you why. Because the players hating on Caitlin Clark. Dog, when you have the newness of something, a lot of people hate. Michael Jordan was getting a lot of smoke, and people forget that. Mike Tyson was getting smoke. He ain't a real boxer. He only fighting tuna cans. Right. He ain't this and that. Like, people were overselling because, again, the newness. By the way, include fans in this newness. Not just the brass, not just players, not just fans that know how to operate, right?
Everything around the WNBA feels like
you're
they're a step behind.
Hey, man, these girls are too rough. Have you been watching?
Right.
WNBA been throwing them bows like Ludacris for a minute.
Yes, they have.
And so I think everybody's operating from this newness, man, and not knowing how to play and not, should they, I have somebody who always says stuff like, we have a personal text going back and forth. They'll be like, I don't know, Angel Reese doing a little too much off the court, like a little too sexy. You shouldn't do that as a lady. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So she can't live her pop fame life on the side as if SGA ain't walking around with Skims on. But you get what I'm saying? Because now she's a woman. He is. Elijah just looked at me. Yeah, he's one of the Skims ambassadors. He's walking around with nothing but some brown Skims on. He brown. You don't know what's going on for a minute. You got to double take. What the heck? So my point, we're all trying to figure this thing out. And I think they're getting exposed because it happened, bam, out the blue. Caitlin Clark takes off. Angel Reese is right there with her. They're competing. Right. And then you're starting to get a multitude of great players coming. They've always had great players, but I mean, that people are
mainstream
coming in from college.
Yes.
People followed Paige. People followed Asia. And you're starting to get that. People follow, and now Sabrina Ionescu, and you just have all this talent. People are like, oh, shoot, keeping an eye on this.
Yeah.
And I just feel like everyone's trying to figure this out in real time.
Yeah, it feels like everybody is stuck in like 2018 right now.
Caught them off guard. They're like, oh, shoot.
Everybody from the top down is like, well, this is how we've always done it. Like, Napheesa Collier, again, the idea of a player for caliber speaking out like that is unusual, but they have been a outspoken league with their players forever. They've been ahead of the curve in all of these social initiatives, whatever you think about it.
That's a great point, Roger.
They've been at the forefront before anybody was. And so now that they're in a position where they are a bigger league and there are more eyeballs on them, and you're in a situation where however you feel about it, there is something to be said about, hey, let's just keep the main thing the main thing. We don't got to comment on everything. We don't got to talk about everything. We don't got to always have a moment of silence. We don't always got to have initiatives. Let's just focus on growing this, and they can't, and the league can't, and
it's just that, yeah,
it's not happening.
And we'll see, because like I said, they got Juju coming, and she's not going to play this year, but another year away, and you got other players going to be coming. It just, to me, you have and then Caitlin Clark bounces back from health, and there's a chance you can keep building on momentum, but they got to kind of be at best cohesive as possible. You're never going to be 100% with something locked in step, but as much as possible. All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.